Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Midlife Muscle Strength Podcast. It's Mickey Kilmartin with my boy,
JP Wiancek.
I love this topic today. I got to say, this is your brainchild. So I'm going to let you sort of take off with it. But before we do that, quick update, very, very fast update. Fitness things for you. I see you're wearing a sweatshirt. Is sweatpants season upon us in the South?
It is 46 right now.
Oh,
But the good news is it's going up to 80.
Holy guacamole.
Just a little chilly in the morning. Then we're back to shorts and t-shirts.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we're in the 40s here and it's going to get to be, it'll be like low 60s, which is honestly sweet spot for me. That's what I like. But it has been chilly in the morning workouts in the garage, and it's definitely sweatpants season here, which I'm not mad about it.
Nice.
So, what are you doing fitness wise? Are you doing heavy lifting? What's the theme right now for you in this season of life, JP?
This season of life is get what you can in when you can in. Yeah, kind of body weight actually.
Whoa! All right.
I know.
Calisthenics.
Body weight and a little calisthenics and light dumbbell work and some bands. Kind of keeping it light. I don't always feel like the most energy you want to lift the heaviest in the wintertime. I try to get some swimming in, some yard work, a little cooler out, so we're out in the yard a lot. So just kind of, a little bit of what I can. I actually kind of took almost this whole week off from like being in the gym.
Yeah.
New schedule with my wife's work and bunch of yard stuff to do, so just kind of like I was actually doing like body weight stuff at the park, like just some squats and lunges and push-ups and dips. It's fun. You could do a lot of stuff at like kids parks.
Oh, tons of stuff.
There's always a place to hang. There's always like a bench to do dips on, or so. Just with a new schedule, I was like try to get out of the house a lot with the kids. The weather's been really nice, so not always in the gym, so just trying to get fitness in when I can. And then I think like moving rocks and planting trees and digging holes is like always a good workout too.
Oh, that grunt work always pays off.
That's it. So that's but I think the theme for mine, like next, looking at my fitness program for the next like 2-3 months will probably be lighter dumbbells. If I lift too heavy this time of year, I get really food cravey. I'll just like crush food. So I try to like dial in the diet a little bit, work out a little less, get my sleep. And then, find a good balance between there.
Yeah. This is hibernation season's coming. It feels like when you start lifting heavy this time of year.
I'm a bear. I'm hibernating.
Put on those layers, not just sweatpants, man. I'm right now. School started back up, so I'm doing like early morning workouts, and I'm still lifting decently heavy, but I have soccer on Sundays, so it's been much more measured approach and a little more cautious because my favorite saying is for old man soccer league, your best ability is availability. So I don't want to be hurt on Sundays. So that's kind of been the theme. Still doing decent amount of plyometrics and a little bit of sprinting in the week, but I'm letting my legs rest. I'm not doing as much as I was in the summer. That's pretty much it. It is a little more flowy depending on how I feel. Like I always have 2 days planned of lifting, and then there's a third floater day where depending on how I feel, I might do something, but it's much lighter stuff. It's kettlebells and med ball stuff. It's no barbells, nothing super heavy, just because I'm trying to be cautious with it, but still keeping it till 45 minutes to an hour before work, and then obviously working in a little bit of conditioning here and there. But the goal is always just to feel good Sunday. So it is always a little less volume, a little less intensity during the week than I was hitting this summer when I was just like, let's get real fast, let's get strong and powerful. Because I didn't have to worry, really, like knock on wood. I didn't have to worry about anything. If I was a little dinged up for Sunday, I didn't have a game. So that was kind of the goal. But after soccer's over in a few weeks, I'll probably ratchet it back a little bit and do a little more of a like reset, because my body's always a little beat up after playing Sundays with the old guys for about 2 months. So that's where we're heading into the winter, just in time for Thanksgiving to eat a lot and rest up.
Yeah, I think this time of year, like you got Halloween, then you got Thanksgiving, the holidays. Like I think this is like the gauntlet. People just have to like
The gauntlet.
it's a gauntlet, like you have to kind of survive a little bit. Not that you should just, I think it's tough with family and friends and events. So I think it's like it's a good time to focus on just your overall health. Of like, okay, get my workouts in. Let's eat a little healthier. Let's focus on what we're eating, because it can get away from you. I feel like on average, I think I've heard people gain 5 to 10 pounds this time of year, and they
Yeah.
never get it off. Like that's the thing. It's like it's not you go up 5 pounds, come down. It's like it goes up 5 every year.
That's probably conservative too. I bet you some are pushing 8 to 12 or even 15 if you get really crazy in the holidays.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 months straight, right? 3 months basically straight of pretty bad
And like
temptation.
you said, like you can wear a sweatshirt through it. So it's like if you're putting the weight on, people don't notice. So it's yeah, the crux of the year. We have to get through it
Just in time for New Year's resolutions, which we always talk about. Right?
That's why it's there.
All right. Well, speaking of trendy things happening in trends, today's episode's all about fitness trends that we're seeing in the world today.
The future of fitness.
The future of fitness. Yeah. What way are the winds blowing in fitness right now in 2025? And we talked a little bit before we got on, but there's a mix, I think, in my opinion, of good and bad and ups and downs here, positives, negatives. But, that's what we're going to talk about today with sort of 3 different umbrellas of big topics. So I'm going to let you kick it off because this is your brainchild, and then we'll go from there. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I just thought the topic came to me of thinking about, where fitness came from and where it is now to like what's the future of fitness going to look like. And I thought about 3 different topics of the kind of general health. So 3 different categories or 3 different people, like general health, then like fitness as a sport, like kind of where we came from with CrossFit, and then sports training, kind of like, you train, athletes as well. I've trained athletes as well. We come from athletic backgrounds. So those are 3 different topics we'll talk about. And then we're just trying to predict or kind of look through our crystal ball of what the future is going to look like, what's on the horizon for those each topic. So we'll start with general health. And the first thing that kind of came to mind, and it's tough. Fitness is nothing new, but you might see trends or shifts. So this is a shift I see. I see it going away from appearance, which this is kind of like maybe our parents talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and like bodybuilding and like I want to look like I'm huge in shape, have a bunch of muscles. I think it's shifting from that, obviously. And it's funny, a lot of these things that I've seen in all these lists are like things that we're already doing, but I think the general population isn't getting there. But I think it's shifting away from appearance to more like health span like matters. So it's more like your longevity, your functional strength and mobility, sleep quality. I think those are the metrics people are looking for, rather than just like, what do I look like? Like, that person looks in shape. They're like, I don't really care about that. I want to be, having all these other, metrics to focus on for their health and fitness.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think there's a caveat here, and like I guess a little asterisk or a side note is there's probably always going to be people who all they care about is aesthetics, right? Like we're talking about big trends. We're not saying that the idea of packing on muscle and looking like Arnold has disappeared. There's lots of people who still do that, but the overall, the general movement, I think is that's you're accurate. You're correct that there is this big push for how do I work out now and plan for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And that's a big selling point for a lot of programs and fitness equipment, and like saunas are big right now. Things about sleep, things about nutrition and eating healthy. That's not new, but it's more of the focus, and it's becoming more of the like what is selling and what people are paying attention to. It's not how much you bench. Do you have a 6-pack? It's like, oh, what's your morning routine? Do you do cold plunge? And do you do sauna? Do you have are you drinking hydrogen water? Like all these things that are like trying to make you live longer, live healthier, rather than what's the right now. I want to look good right now. It's more of a long-term look, which I think is a good thing in my opinion, because that's a good trend and a good thing to focus on, which is what we kind of have focused on after going through our own, I guess you could call it like arc of
Life
fitness.
cycle.
Yeah, life cycle of our fitness. But yeah, that's definitely a hot topic. You see it a lot in your algorithm, or just what people are talking about on podcasts and things like that. Peter Attia, right? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the other guy who's super popular there with the podcast. Oh my gosh, he's got the beard.
Starts with an H.
Huberman, yeah, Huberman.
Yeah.
They like their podcast almost 9 times out of 10 is going to be about how do you live longer and live better. It's not about how do you get abs, right? Which I think that's a change from when I was a teenager. It was just like, how do I look like an Abercrombie model right now? That was the goal.
Yeah. Never got there.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny. I think some people, when you ask a general fitness person, they're like, I'll never look like that. Like you show them like a Ronaldo or someone who looks like unbelievable without the shirt
physique,
on.
yeah.
Physique. You're like, I'll never look like that, so I might as well just focus on these other aspects. But like by focusing on those other aspects, you'll end up looking a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it should be like the end goal. I think some people start with like, I want a 6-pack in 6 months, and they don't get there, they quit. It's like it's better to focus on all these other qualities, like all these other metrics. And then you will then, if you add all those up, you're going to end up looking better. So it's it's just kind of which way you want to chase it a little bit. But yeah.
So as far as general health and fitness goes, now I don't want to throw dirt in your water here and ruin your drink. But do you think there's any, like you mentioned the word metrics, and this is where my cynical brain comes in, because you get inundated if you're on any social media or if you pay attention to the fitness industry at all. There is, I think, a trend within the general health and fitness world, people who are just trying to be healthy, that in my opinion is a little bit on the negative, or there's a downside to it. And that's that focus on metrics and on data and measuring everything, like Whoop straps and your Garmin, measuring how much sleep you get, quality of sleep, measuring like the speed of your barbell, like even just normal general health and fitness people using like all kinds of stuff to collect data, and then being so hyper focused on data, like barbell speed and stuff. And you're just a general fitness person, or just collecting how many steps you're doing or your trends in weight loss because your watch is tracking it, all this stuff that just data driven. And I think that trend has a place, and that collection of data is okay, but the hyper focus on it today with all the technology can become a detriment to your general fitness and general health, because you can become so hyper focused on it yourself individually that it can overwhelm you and also sometimes deceive you, because my Whoop says that I didn't get enough rest or whatever the data point is, and it can throw you off or send you in a bad direction. So that's within the general health category. I think that trend is not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of that. And I think it's also been monetized a ton to make money off all these data collection things. But that's just me being crotchety old man.
I'm not looking forward to where it's going. Like, I also think there'll be people aren't thrilled about, okay, how much did you lift? Like even for our business as a personal trainer, it's going to change drastically. People don't want to know how many reps, how much did I do. They want more. So like they want everything integrated, which is like the next kind of segment is like fully integrated, like digital ecosystem, like of subscriptions and wellness model. Like they want everything. They want what's my sleep, how's my mobility, and they want data on it. Like everything's going to be data driven, and they don't just want how much did I lift and how much is that going up? They want everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like it's going to be a detriment, like you just talked about. I don't think I don't think it's necessarily a positive thing. I think the data is getting more accurate. I think like that's the one piece that people like the sleep might be like, hey, it's not like, hey, do I feel better or worse? This is exactly your sleep. Like sometimes you feel bad because the sleep data is so bad, but whatever the data is, like it's going to be data driven. It's going to be like a whole ecosystem of like, hey, here's a snapshot of my fitness over the last month. And it's going to have all those points, not just the lifting parts. It's going to have, how's my mobility? What's my functional strength? What's my sleep quality? What's longevity? What's my nutrition? Like they want all the data. I think like, I think people who focus and bring that all together as a group, I think will be successful. And I think just people looking for more than just like, what's my workout? They want, and we talk about it with our clients. I think they just want more like, hey, how can I measure this? What can I do?
They want to open an app and like go and scroll through and see all of these markers, all these numbers.
Yeah. And I think like, unfortunately, it's all going to blend together with like your doctor. You're going to have like almost like a card and it's like, here's all my data. You plug it in and they're like, yeah, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
gosh, that's such a terrifying idea.
Yeah, like you're not even gonna have to talk to a doctor. Like you're gonna plug it into like an app, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, you're healthy." Like, or oh, you need this, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be very data driven, and more points and more accuracy, and I think people are gonna miss like, doing all of it together. I think they're going to want it all together, but I don't think it's going to be tough to like, steer the ship a little bit.
Yeah. I just, it gives me pause because I think in some ways that could be an amazing thing that if you're tracking your own health and you just need to check in with a doctor and they look at your blood pressure, your resting heart rate, maybe you do a blood test and they look at all those numbers and they see that like, you're good. You don't even need to come in. Like that kind of thing I could see as being great. It's like you don't have to schedule a yearly physical unless you have a red flag that you want to look at. But the other side of that coin is people just being so reliant on technology. And I know we say the mind muscle connection or just the intrinsic understanding of your body. Like if you're always just looking at something else, like, am I good? Like looking at a screen, like, am I healthy? And not just sitting there and thinking like, do I feel good? Like, do I feel on the inside like, oh, I feel well, instead of having to be told that gives me pause and makes me nervous because always relying on that means you've lost like connection with yourself on like a holistic level. And I'm not trying to get like spiritual, but it just seems to me that makes me concerned if you always have to have some data driven thing telling you if you're okay. It's like, do you feel good? Because those numbers could be lying to you, or those numbers might be a little bit off, or I don't know. That just makes me really concerned in some ways.
Yeah, I think you kind of lose a little bit of yourself, like you were saying, which I think is concerning. And I think there's more to it than just a number. I think like a wellness, ecosystem will dominate, but like there has to be a human element to it. Someone to listen, someone to understand, someone to see the data and make some changes to it. We can't just be like plug and chug with the data,
Yeah. So I don't know. General health and fitness. There's a lot of money that's going to be made. That is for sure. Especially in the tech sector with that stuff.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
When is our app coming out?
we need some funding. So if you're interested in,
if you want to back us, we'll come up with something that will maybe make a couple bucks.
And one other small one for the general health, I think micro workouts are going to be a big thing, like just 10, 20-minute workouts.
Ooh, that's okay.
I think like the 16, I think people think you have to be in the gym for an hour. I guarantee if you like took a survey of the general population, they're like, how long do you have to work out for? They're like hour and a half. And I think these little 10, 20-minute workouts, maybe multiple times a day, maybe you do accumulate an hour, but it won't be all together. And I think that's stuff we talk about all the time as parents. It's like, hey, get in when you can. I'm at the park for 30 minutes. I'm probably working out for 10 maybe. It's like I might go to park a couple times a day, or maybe I'm at home doing something. Like I think just those little bits of workouts, I think that will be more accepted as like that's that's acceptable, that's a good thing, then anything in the future, like going in the future, that'll be acceptable.
So that would be a sign that the like brick and mortar Globo gyms would be on the decline. If you think that that's the direction people are going,
Yeah,
I do see more of a lean into home gyms, but I don't think brick and mortar gyms will ever quite die. The format might change, but just because, like you said, I think people just don't want to spend the time to drive to a place, work out, drive home in the busy world that we live in. And it's just way easier to just throw a workout down in 15, 20 minutes wherever you are with whatever you got, and go from there. And they sell a ton of equipment now, like little mini band setups that you can do literally everything with a little band, a bar, and a platform thing that you could put in your trunk. Like there's all kinds of crazy, there's the dumbbells that go from 5 pounds to 55 pounds that you could adjust. All those different things that can allow people to do what you just said, is just get a quick workout in once or twice a day, and you're going to accumulate it the amount of time you need to have a decent fitness routine.
I think people who are hurt will go to the gym. Like it'll be, rather than staying home, like I think you'll be going to the gym when you're hurt, and like using different machines and getting a different stimulus. And
this is like Back to the Future. Like we're episode the second one where we're like trying to look into the future. Like what's it gonna be like?
Like you'll be recovering or using something specific. Like there's some unbelievable machines in the gym. Like I would never, like I wish my whole house was just a whole gym like that.
Yeah.
But I think like that's like when you're hurt, you'll be going to do the leg press, or you'll be in the pool, or like you'll be going there when you're like kind of banged up with something.
Yeah. Or maybe if you're an athlete with a specific, like you have a specific goal, but if you're just general health and fitness, I think you're right.
Yeah.
There's, we can go down that rabbit hole, but especially live in a city it takes forever to get places and do things. You just have a kettlebell in your closet or whatever, and you do a little quick workout.
That's it.
And that's it. What's the next topic, sir, for fitness trends?
Fitness as a sport.
Oh boy. You know that this is one that,
you're going to love it.
All right, let's hear what you got, your thoughts on fitness as a sport trends. You've been out of the game for a while, so are you even do you have the right to even talk about this? We've been retired for like 8 years.
This is like very general.
Okay.
I don't think you'll be shocked by any of these.
Okay.
I do think I actually think the fitness events, CrossFit, High Rocks, I think they'll become mainstream spectator sports.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool.
I think it's gonna be like something that I think there's gonna be some big companies that get behind them and bankroll them to either live stream them. And I think the stats will. I think one piece that is confusing is like you don't know where people are. Mm-hmm. Like if you're watching a CrossFit event, you'd be like, "What's going on?" Mm-hmm. And I think they've done a better job. Even High Rocks, I think with the tech that's gonna be coming with it, I think you'll see like you'll be able to live stream a certain person. Mm-hmm. And you can choose between that person and what all their stats are, and they'll show like what their heart rate is and what rep they're on and where they are on the leaderboard. So I think it'll be like a better user experience by watching. So I think it'll bring more people in.
That would be cool to be able to see their heart rate, which is also kind of creepy in like NASA, where like they're tracking your, when they track astronauts' health stats. But imagine you could see, I'm just going way back in time, like, what was Rich Froning's heart rate like when he had to do that 3,000 meter row, 300 double unders in the 3 mile run? Do you remember when he imploded in the games? You might not remember. He like his heart rate's like 210 and he's just like exploding. It's like, oh my God, look at that. Like that would actually be really cool to see that.
Yeah. So I think it'll be like more of a user fun entertainment thing. And it could even turn into like a gambling, like gambling's huge.
Oh man, jeez.
So then you're gambling, and I think it'll just be like some of those things will come up, and people enjoy the sport as it is, so that it'll be a better user experience or like watching experience. So I think that's actually going to be like become bigger.
Wow, so that's an interesting prediction for the trends. So High Rocks, the trend right now is it's blowing up. It's getting really big. It's definitely, if you did a heat test, it's way hotter than CrossFit. Like CrossFit is sort of cooling. And High Rocks is white hot as far as popularity and growth. And what I also think High Rocks has on CrossFit, even in its early stages right now, where we're early on, is they do these events in these giant cities. Like they do High Rocks New York, High Rocks Boston, in these big population centers, and they just inherently, that pulls in more people who have never seen it, but they just go to watch their friends, and they're like, oh, I could do this, and then they go and they join in and they start trying their own High Rocks, and I think it's just pulling in massive numbers of people that way, which is an excellent marketing approach. So I think that you're onto something. I never thought of that as it being a mainstream thing, but I could see us. I mean, people sit and watch NASCAR. They sit and watch track and field events. I know we've talked about High Rocks and how we're not massive fans of it as like a training methodology or as an event, but if done correctly with their marketing, they could definitely make it mainstream. It's only an hour long. It's kind of a perfect sweet spot for a show to put on TV or to stream it. So I think you could definitely see that happening in the future. If that happens, kind of like CrossFit had happen when they went to ESPN, the secondary effect of this trend is, I think normies are going to get weeded out less and less. Yes. It might actually kill the growth, in my opinion. It could go mainstream and kill the growth on the people who are like, oh, I could do that. They're going to be like, no, I can't do that. It's on TV. And they'll probably will. It'll be less likely over time. It'll have the same arc as CrossFit. Because I feel like CrossFit, at least competitive CrossFit, went like this and then has come down where people just see the barrier to entry as way too high and they don't even want to really try.
I just think like there'll be other athletes. If it goes mainstream, you'll see like, the backup running back for, some NFL team coming out and like,
I'm a high roxer. Yeah.
Yeah. Like killing people.
Well, I mean, can you imagine if like the best 5,000 meter runners in the world were like, I'm going to do some strength. Like if you're an Olympian, you do 5,000 meter and all of a sudden High Rocks is really big. You're like, oh, I could do that if they just did some strength work, because they're going to outrun everybody. That's the most of the workout. It's just, can you do the strength stuff?
Which I think would be fun to watch.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Sport is a fitness. It is changing.
You have $1 million. You win a High Rocks race, you get $1 million. You're going to get some freaks who come out and do that.
As soon as money comes out, the freaks come out.
That's it.
Not only that, it changes the game in terms of how much people put into it. Like, oh, I want to win $1 million. Like High Rocks will then become hyper competitive and people will get really good at it. Like the best times are going to drop by minutes because people just become freakishly good at it.
Yeah, it's a funny kind of graph of like, okay, it's everyone can do it, and then it comes really elite, and then you're just watching the best of the best, and like all these other people drop off.
Yeah,
but it's like, I don't know, it's like you want the best people out there, but then the better people get out there, and the more mainstream it gets, the less people want to do it. It's just kind of
it's a tricky, it's a catch-22 because we're seeing that with CrossFit right now. But I think CrossFit's issue also is that within their community, it's splintering as far as like, what are we? Are we a competitive sport or are we a health and wellness program? Does that make sense?
The one difference is like if we bring a third thing in, like a venture races, like, I think they're fun. Like,
you talking about like Tough Mudders or like
like there's an elite level and there's like unbelievable, like I think I've seen it on TV before. It's like those people are insane, like the top level.
Yeah,
it's kind of similar to like a High Rocks, but they're still fun. Like even if you're like, I'm not going to win this, but it's like it's fun to do.
I want to roll around in the mud and get zapped by electricity.
Yeah. But like and then you have High Rocks, which is like probably a cleaner version of that. At the end of the day, it's probably fun for some people to do. Like it's, hey, I know what to expect. I know exactly what to do. There's not a lot of questions. It's like, I know the setup. There's not a lot of guessing. Like CrossFit competitions are like, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's the most question. I think High Rocks will still be somewhat popular because people are like, I just like to do the races. Like it feels like a good workout. It's like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I know what to expect. I know all the movements. Like it's fun. Where like CrossFit's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
yeah, I mean, you look
the
at
barrier to entry there is a lot higher.
Yeah, you look at the metamorphosis over time and how it has changed. It's, it's insanely different today. the 2025 CrossFit Games, what those people are doing, and then what they were doing at the 2009 CrossFit Games is vastly different, right?
Yeah.
Which if High Rocks just keeps what they are and don't change, then that, like you said, the barrier to entry is much lower, because there's nothing like no one's got to snatch 275, right? They only have to push that sled which is X amount of weight. They only have to do the wall ball, which is always X amount of weight, and then run and row and all that other stuff.
Right,
so
right.
That is true. Do you think, as far as trends are going, that competitive CrossFit is going to become kind of like, do you remember, and this is where I think it's going, but I wonder if you feel the same way. In my opinion, I feel like competitive CrossFit, because we're in that world, like I feel like I'm in that world, so I sort of pay attention to it and I know what's going on there. But if you ask, I had friends when I was doing CrossFit 2014, 15, 16, they saw CrossFit Games on ESPN and they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Are you going to do that? Are you going to the games or whatever? Because they knew I was competing. Those same people aren't really talking about that stuff anymore. They're talking about High Rocks. So that to me is a really bad sign for just CrossFit, the brand in general, because in my opinion, that means it's going the way of almost like ESPN2, those games where they had the lumberjacks and they would show them cutting wood and stuff, where it's very niche. It's that, like, if you're a lumberjack, you know those people, but if you're not, you don't know those people. Like, there was a window where CrossFit could have become mainstream and stayed there and stayed in the mainstream consciousness. Like Matt Fraser, I think, went to Sports Center, or was like Matt Fraser was on Joe Rogan and stuff. I think that window's gone. I don't think that's going to swing back around, in my opinion, where it'll be that popular again. I think that's fizzled and it's gone. So that's kind of where I see it going. And I don't think it's going to go away. Some people are like, CrossFit's going to die. It's done. I don't think it's dead. I think it will just live, though, in that sort of second or third tier of professional sports as far as the competitive fitness side goes.
Yeah, I think it has to do with a little bit of their leadership. I think it can get back to that level. It's just, if you ask someone what's High Rocks, what's CrossFit, like someone can tell you what High Rocks is. Mm-hmm. The general population has no idea what CrossFit is.
No, they've heard the word.
They've heard the word. Yeah. And I think it will come and have its heyday. I think they need like maybe a bigger platform and like, I don't know, maybe streamline some of their events a little bit, but we'll get to there. Mm-hmm. The next fitness and sports trend I see, which I don't know if it's really a trend, but I think it speaks to you and me. Coaching clients not to just be fit, but to perform. I think that'll be a shift. Like we've critiqued High Rocks athletes, mm-hmm. like they want to be in shape. It's like, don't be in shape, train to perform, like mm-hmm. your event, or whatever event that might be. I think a lot of people just do it for fitness. I think it's like, no, it's performance. It's like, how good do you want to be at that sport? I think that you'll see a shift with athletes for that. And I don't know if that's really new, but I thought it was like kind of like a just different mindset or a little shift there.
So you think that instead of like a general, you're going to start training specifically
I think coaches train athletes to be generally fit, mm-hmm. where like you want to train to perform. Like mm-hmm. it's a performance sport. Like CrossFit's like, yeah, it's fitness, but it's like you want to perform better at the sport. So you're not just hammering the sport. You're kind of doing these outside things for performance to enhance it. Yeah.
So you're training, you're training on a wide base, but the goal is to be better at whatever sport you want to be good at. I had someone ask me a funny question once, and it made me think. They said, "Are you training for performance, or are you just training to be healthy or to be fit, and just be well?" And I was like, "I think I'm just training to be healthy." And they're like, "Oh, it doesn't look like it." And it wasn't a knock. It wasn't like a knock on me. They were just, I think they were genuinely curious. Yeah. Because they watched the way I trained and they were just curious, like, oh, you do a lot of this plyometrics and these other things. Are you trained to be healthy? Or are you trained to be able to perform? And it made me step back and think, I'm actually I think I am trained to perform, but I'm trying to find the sweet spot of training to perform where it's not going to be a long-term detriment to me, because I used to try to train to perform well, but it was way too much. And it was, ended up being detrimental, like injuries.
Like when you're in Washington DC, like doing broad jumps on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like someone's like, that person is like an athlete, like having a competition coming up. Like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
Like like a general person walking by is like, this kid's probably like trying to make it, to the
tryouts for football or what,
yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, like you wouldn't do that if you were just trying to be fit.
Yeah. So now I think it's a good trend though, to train for performance, like a mix, like a hybrid mix.
Yes.
But I hate the idea of, I shouldn't say hate. Hate's a strong word. I always tell my kids, don't say hate. But the hybrid athlete, which is a whole other, like, I guess that's a trend in the performance side of things.
Yes.
Is a little bit confusing to me, because they're like the hybrid athletes that you see are like a mold of all the stuff we've already talked about. Like, they are trying to do all the data-driven stuff in the sleep and the nutrition, which is good. And they're like, I want to be able to do everything and like be, perform well, have my mile time be this, my deadlift be this, my vertical jump, or whatever, be explosive, power clean. But they're just like this, they're a hybrid of all these different things. But I think that no one's really figured out how to do that really well yet, because they're all kind of, everyone I've seen, they're all really mediocre at all of it. They're not like,
right.
Amazing at anything, at like a decathlete. Like, you could just take a decathlete from like 20 years ago, and they're probably a better hybrid athlete back then than the ones who are claiming they're hybrid athletes today are, because I don't think anyone's figured that out quite yet.
Yeah.
But I like the trend of pushing for performance, because I think you sort of need that stimulus. Everybody needs that stimulus, no matter general health and wellness or whatever, to push yourself in some way, shape, or form. Because we've talked about Warren, I think, the last 5 episodes since he's been on, but I think he had an awesome point.
And he's one of the only one who listens.
Yeah, and yeah, Warren, shout out. You and my mom.
Yeah.
But I think he had an amazing
parents listen? My parents don't even listen.
My mom she'll listen to some episodes, and she's like, I don't know what you were talking about. So she just it becomes like background noise. It helps her sleep.
Yeah.
He made a great point though, that you have to push yourself still. And I think if you're not chasing a little bit of performance, you could easily just go to do your workout and like, I'm just going to do walking lunges today, and then do my 20 minutes on the elliptical, which isn't bad, but I think you'll be very much in a rut and not benefit as much as you could. So the performance trend, I think, is a good one across the board, in my opinion.
Do hard things. I think doing something hard is always good.
Yeah. Do you have athletes? Actually, that's one of the things I do, is call my clients athletes on purpose, because I want them to think about themselves as performance based. Yeah. Do you have athletes who shy away from that? Like, why do they not want to do stuff like maybe some box jumps or things that are a little bit performance based? They just want to do the vanilla, or do most of them like crave it and ask for it?
I think I have athletes who, I think they don't really ask for it. It's kind of like they're using me as discretion for like, hey, what should I be doing? And I push it a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I think as long as they have a good why. I think it's like when it's like, hey, I want to do this because I have a firefighter test coming up, physical test. It's like, okay, like let's ramp up the performance side, and then I think it's just something you kind of flow in and out of, or it's nice to be able to flow in and out of.
Yes.
Not living in one area over another. It's kind of like when we, we're in our performance phase, like it's demanding. It's a lot. So it's like, you don't do it all year. It's like you have like your 2-3 month cycle, and then you go back to fitness and come back to performance. I think it's like a ebb and flow a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point there too. And I only ask that because after I give clients that kind of stuff, give athletes those things, and then maybe we take a break from it, they eventually always like, hey, can we put, like, I really had fun with those sprints, or I really had fun with doing some heavier lifts. Like they miss it if it's gone for a little while. So, and that's when I'm like, okay, time to like put it back in, because they're needing it. So just like you said, there's an ebb and a flow to the performance based stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
One last one for the fitness and sport. I had, you know, virtual remote competitions will be like expand.
whoa, man, we're
Those will
getting
be.
futuristic.
I don't like them. Like personally, I don't like this trend, but I think the virtual remote competitions, they'll be like global. Like everyone in the whole world will have access to it. And I think that's like part of the tech side of it as well. And I think like the judging will be more like, you see the technology now of like, it's almost like the camera makes you into like a little stick figure and you can like see the range of motion. I think like there'll be no more, it'll be a lot easier to people, it'll be harder to cheat. People, it'll be easier to standardize whatever competition that might be. And I think you'll be able to do it anywhere in a small area just with a camera. And maybe you're live streaming it with a bunch of people all on one event. So yeah, I think that will be like the future of like, fitness competitions or, maybe specifically CrossFit, I'm thinking. But yeah, I think that'll be a big trend.
Well,
and I think that will expand it like globally.
Yeah.
I think right now you have like little niche areas that like are really big. So, it might not grow as much, like CrossFit might not grow as much in the United States, but like maybe, in the rest of the world, it'll grow.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, you could see that trend happening. I mean, they already have, I know like Concept 2 has, there's lots of online communities, right? There's Concept 2, there is Peloton, where you can kind of compete against people virtually and live. And it's really popular. People really like it and enjoy it. And it's pretty measurable. Like the Concept 2, if you use a Concept 2 monitor, you just do your workout and it uploads the exact data. So you can't cheat. It's like, all right, who got the fastest 500 meter of the day from the Concept 2? And there's thousands of people, Germany, Uganda, everywhere, which is a really cool thing. So I could definitely see that happening with, as you said, the technology, being able to check, did you go below parallel with your squat? Did you hit full extension on your push press or your jerk or whatever? So that could definitely, I think, be a possibility and help with growth and accessibility for people who want to compete, but just can't travel, or there's not, you could be in Nepal and you got to just compete on your laptop because there's nowhere to go. You can't get to regionals or whatever the semifinal work place is, but you can do it from your house or wherever. Camera.
Yeah.
Wow, futuristic today, JP.
We're going crazy.
I'm getting a little nervous that we're going to be obsolete. There won't be any need for us as coaches. They're just going to have virtual coach. It'll be AI coach.
We'll be gone.
There's enough of us online now at this point, talking in our faces, that someone could probably just create us as a virtual entity and just be like, hey.
Talk to your virtual coach.
Speaking of virtual coaches, where could they find you, JP, if they want to not use a virtual coach and use real flesh and blood?
JP Wiz on Instagram.
You can find me at the Dadbod Chronicles on Instagram as well. I think we're going to have some fun guests on in the coming weeks and months here. We've been talking to some different people, so stay tuned for that.
If you'd like to be a guest,
and if you want to be a guest, yeah, great point. If you want to be a guest, reach out to us on Instagram at those handles, and we can definitely get you on here
and
talk fitness.
Tell someone else to listen. Try to expand it. Share it with some friends.
Link it. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Share the posts, all that fun stuff, so we can get more people listening to.
If you'd like your business promoted, we can do that too.
Yeah, send us. Yeah, we'll do ads. We'll do anything out here to get more than just my mom listening. No offense, Warren. We love you. You're our number one fan. You get premium membership no matter what.
Yeah. You get if you want the Warren membership, a shout out of an episode.
Yeah, one shout out per episode.
You pay a little extra for that.
It's called the Jennings. We call that the Jennings.
Yeah.
All right, people. We'll see you next time.